Hey, good morning, fellas. It's the 15th, Sunday the 15th. It's about 6:40. I'm on my way down to that light, and then to take a right. There's my friend saying good morning. Morning, big guy. Good morning. Good job. Good job. You're doing your job. A couple things. I'm going to talk to you about survival mode and why that's a really bad thing. Also talk to you about levels and a master class that I saw put on last night by a old fighter, 34, against a young fighter who was 21. And it went all 12 rounds. I'm talking about the Canelo Alvarez fight and the poor kid from Puerto Rico. The kid has 21 fights, 17 knockouts. He's 6'1". He was bigger and stronger than Canelo. And Canelo beat the hell out of him. I mean, it was brutal. Knocked him down. The kid had only been knocked down once in his entire career prior to that, and Canelo put him down. The left hook, jeez. And he baited him into doing it. You can see him fake the body jab or body hook, and then he just comes upstairs and clips him. It was brutal. But Canelo won by, I think the kid has some sort of post-concussive syndrome, because he was falling asleep on his stool and his corner kept sending him out there. Anyways, that's the part about levels. It's just like for young men, there are, hopefully, if you get a chance to get into the trades or you get into any type of business and you get partnered up with a guy who will show you some of the ropes, it'll make your life much easier. Now, for the reality of this is, I keep hearing all the time from young men, especially young men, that they're tired of being in what's called survival mode. Meaning that a lot of them work at least 2 jobs. They call it your main job, and then I believe the proper terminology is a side hustle. And they can't make ends meet. So when I talk to them about deciding what you want to do and your 3 clients, they're like, "Coach, we don't have time for all of that noise. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to make it from day to day." And that is a very bad sign. A very, very bad sign. Because if the young men don't believe in the system, then they're going to change the system, or they're going to burn it down or tear it down. And can you blame them? No. Look at all the bullshit men have to put up with. They have to put up with a war being placed on them. I mean, they're telling men that they have to accept things or will ruin your life. DEI. You're more qualified. You've done all the work. You're the best candidate, and you're the wrong color. Especially now, you're the wrong gender. I know that there's a fact that they're not hiring people that look like me, young white males. They're not hiring people because of their skin color, because they may be thought that they're going to cause trouble. It's crazy. And what are they going to do? Oh, this is one of my favorite spots. I hope you can see the pinks and the oranges and stuff like that. I'll crouch down. Beautiful. Good morning, man. I'm not used to seeing all the people. Good morning, young lady. But they don't have things to look forward to. Because I want to talk to them about not peaking too early, why you got to stay in shape, and how can you tell any young man who's just worrying about feeding himself, making sure he has clothes on his back, and then he has some place to lay down. I know there were, up until a week ago, there were 2 young men at the academy sleeping in their car. Now, I'm not talking about the guys that are out trying to pursue their dreams, The guys that are out there, they want to be a pro anything. Pro pool player, pro football player, pro soccer player, a pro anything. That's different because they're pursuing their dream. They're not in survival. They may be in survival mode, but they're not at a point where they don't think they're going to make it. They're living their dream. They're working on their dream, and of course you're going to struggle. I'm talking about the guys out here. Hang on. Walk around the back of this guy. That's wild. Anyways, I'm talking about the guys who are out there who aren't necessarily physically gifted, aren't as tall as they need to be. They're not going to be fucking playing linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys anytime soon. I'm talking about the guy who's out there busting his ass just to get by. Let me get out of the way here. Morning.
Hello.
Those guys have had enough. And when there is no benefit for a younger man to remain in society, and the only place he can have any fun is online playing a game, where everybody he talks to is pretty much in the same boat he is. When you sit back and look at it and the enormity of it, it's crazy. And it's why I'm staying in shape. It's why I store a little bit of extra food. I got about a year's worth of food, should it be necessary. It's why I keep the pool taken care of. So even if they shut the water off, I can still make the plumbing work with a 5-gallon bucket in the house, so we can use the bathrooms, take showers and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. And what do you want me to tell a young man who's trying to help his family? He's working 2 jobs. He can barely feed himself, and he's expected to help his family out. Of course he's going to help his family out at his expense. But then he has to turn around, and I'm telling you, this is not racist or anything like that. You have to turn around, and he has to turn around and watch somebody get free food, free cards, free money, free housing, free clothing. And he has to bust his ass and pay taxes, which his money, part of his money, is going to pay that other person. I believe it's called the Great Replacement. I believe that is actually happening right now. And they're going to use it to secure political power for themselves. And then everything's going to go to shit, because there's a lot of us older guys. There's a lot of us middle-aged guys who've paid our dues. And we're trying to enjoy a quiet, retired life. But if I start noticing the price of eggs and milk and gasoline and electricity and everything else, and wages aren't going up to compete with inflation, what do you think all of those young men are going to do? And it's why they're monitored so heavily online. It's why they're monitored and followed by our 3-letter agencies, because they're afraid that we, the people, are going to decide that the game's rigged, which it is rigged. God, this is another one of my favorite spots on the walk. I don't usually get to see the sun coming up, so anyways, it's hard. I honestly don't know what to tell them. And now they snuck through a bill, I think on Friday, for another like $749 something million again to the Ukraine. For fucking what? What about the people here? What about the good? Why won't we turn all of that into free college? Send them to college, but they have to study something that's fucking useful. Not the gender studies bullshit. Yes, we need philosophers. Yes, we need writers. Yes, we need mathematicians. Of course we need math. Yes, we need people who believe in esoterical things and can professionally discuss writings of Chaucer and Milton and all of those guys. But we don't need everybody to be like that. Somebody has to do the fucking work. And all the people that are willing to do that work are getting screwed over, and they've had enough. I see probably at least 300 people on a weekly basis. I'd say 200 of those people are people I see on a regular basis, and the other 100 are all young men coming and going who are trying to learn how to defend themselves, use a knife, how to use a handgun properly, how to use an escopete, un shotgun, how to use a rifle, semi-automatic rifle. I mean, it's just scary. It's crazy. And they all look the same. They all look lean and hungry. They're not disrespectful, but they're very wary of anything you tell them. And anything you can tell them, many of the times when I'm talking to them, initially you'll see them looking stuff up because they want to know if the person that's trying to help them is full of shit. And you got all these fucking scammers out there. So, I'm going to stay in shape. I'm giving myself the rest of this year and all of next year to see if shit hits the fan. I hope it doesn't. I'm up here where they're doing the work. I'm hitting my turnaround point. Getting ready. Oh, this is my phone. Oh, that's nice. I'll show you. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's the sun. Beautiful. Here is the box. Alright. I have to do a speed run on the way back. Not a run. I don't run anymore. I'd rather walk briskly and fight my way out. But anyway, when too many men have had enough, and what was the adage from Africa about the village? If the village won't help them out, why don't they just tear it down and start over? And you see all these things people are they've brought at least 8 million people into the country. And that's a replacement. That's more than enough to flip any election. And it's just sad. It's sad, all the stuff that's going on. And this will be the third. I'm telling you, both sides are going to contest the election unless it's an absolute overwhelming majority. And then again, I will think that both sides won't believe it. So everything has a tipping point. That's a shout out to Malcolm Gladwell, even though he's lost his mind. But you have to take care of yourselves, guys. One of the things you can do is walk around in a white t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and a decent pair of shoes and go for a walk. I eat once a day, but I eat well. I eat good food. I don't know how to eat mine. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. I just don't. Men are figuring out that the game's rigged and it's unfair, and soon enough they're gonna say we've had enough. I don't know what'll be the spark or the catalyst. I remember it was George Floyd for BLM, Antifa, ACAB, the Black Bloc, all of those people. Let's tear it down, let's burn it down. Calling people fascists. Anyways. And if you do that long enough, if you call people Nazis and fascists and they can't get a job and you're gonna ruin their life, what are you gonna do? What do they have to lose by becoming a fascist? If you're not going to be welcoming to people you disagree with, if you're not going to have an honest conversation with people you disagree with, that's a very bad sign. There it is again. Anyways, love you guys. I'm just talking to you like if you were standing beside me and we were walking, sharing some thoughts. But yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I believe in you guys, I really do. But you're going through things that I never had to deal with, and I've been to war on more than one continent. So, you know, the difference is in war, you know who you're fighting. You got a pretty good idea who you're fighting. And your job is clear. You're to locate them, close the distance between you two, and destroy them before they destroy you. No mercy, no pity. We'll work all that other shit out in the end. And I hope we're not getting to that point here. But you got to really, if you're watching this and you're well off and you're doing well, or you have a job and ends are meeting, got to think about what's happening to all those guys who are just surviving. And what if they decide we've had enough? So I'm going to do what I can, but I'm also going to be prepared. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you take care of yourselves. I might just do this, my morning walk from a rambling old man. That'll be the title. Love you guys. I'm going to do what I can to help without ever asking you or taking anything, trying to take anything from you. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe. I would ask this one favor. If you don't like the content and you just want to go away, I'm not sure why you would decide to send me an email, but I guess it is what it is. All right, like a fart in a G-string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.